So Edith,
Okay.
we're gonna go ahead and start with you. What was it for you? Like she's been here since she's a little girl, right? How old were you
Yeah, I
when you got here?
came, you know what, the year 2000 actually. So I've been here for like 19 years. So I was five going on to 6. So it is, I know a lot of people would be like, oh, well, you're like practically American. You've been here the whole life. No. So, you know, growing up, because I did go through like the school systems here and taught like, I mean, I was raised pretty much like, and I was like in the white section of Arlington, so all of like I was the most Mexican there, and I mean I gotta tell you something because I don't really look much Mexican, but
Tell about
most
it.
people think I'm
Puerto
like
Ricans here.
yeah, no one looks like it, but you know, growing up, you get, you know, they're talking about college and all this stuff, even like the army and all this stuff you can do and blah blah blah, and it's like when you grow up, so you grow up with that you're gonna have those opportunities and you're gonna be able to do this and do that, and then you grow up and it's like, oh well, actually you can't, and even if you can go to college, like we're not gonna help you with any like loans or scholarships or stuff like that. Like I don't qualify for like squat. I can't make government jobs, like anything like that. So even though I mean, granted, I didn't get as much like that much tenacity towards like where I've seen like some like my sister looks more Mexican than me, and I'll see how when I go up somewhere they're like, oh hi and blah blah blah, and they're like you know, they're nicer, and then my sister comes and they like, they'll be such assholes, like, you know, like you know, like you can see where it completely changes. Even this one time I will not forget, I went to this bank, I'm not gonna say which bank just you know, but I went to a bank and she was so nice, customer service, professional, like everything was so great. I was like, oh my god. And this is when I was barely 17 and I already had a job because, you know, Mexican. But I already had a job. Actually, my job was by 16. But anyways, so I went to get an account and she was so nice, and then she asked me for my ID. Now I have the DACA, which I'm one of the dreamers. But so now I have a social and a permit to work. But at the time I didn't, so I had an ITN and a matricula, and you know, she asked me for my ID, and I was like, well, in my social, and I was like, well, I have my ITN and I have my matricula, which banks accept that. They accept that. But she completely, like, she just, oh my god, I remember her face. She goes, oh, yeah, we're gonna need proof of residency. And I was like, well, in my matricula there's my residency. And she's like, no, I'm gonna need something else. I literally took out my phone bill, I took out my car insurance, my car note, like, because I get all these receipts, it all have the same address. She's like, no, I'm gonna need your actual copy of your lease. I'm like what? Like, she was just very, like, the way her demeanor completely changed just because she found out I was Mexican. Not only that, but like, not from here Mexican. And it's like, you know, it's just stupid how people would change just because you're from another country. And even so, when there's other Mexicans that discriminate against like other Mexicans, and it's like, no, like, it's like, dude, you look more Mexican than me. Like, why are you hating? Like, yeah. And you know, and then that really does hurt me. It's just
it's just
another
so much
thing.
more.
Like, yeah.
And it sucks to go through that. It actually happened to me once when I was in a beauty store. I'm not gonna say the name either, but I don't look Spanish. Like, unless I start speaking, then you're like, oh, she ain't from here. But if you just look at me, I don't. I actually don't look Spanish at all. And I used to go to the store all the time, and I loved it. And one time I went with one of my friends that she's also Puerto Rican, and she looks like she just came straight out of the boat. Like, she is so Spanish, and she didn't know English. So when we were in the store, we were actually talking in Spanish. And this girl, I will not forget how she was following us throughout the store. Now, I remember that at the time I got a really good job, and I got like a really good incentive I was not even expecting. So I said to her, let's go to the store and just grab all the makeup we can, because whatever, I was just stupid, and I guess I didn't know the value of money back then. I was a totally different person. So I was like, well, we have like $300 to spend. And we went through the store and grabbed things and whatever. And I remember they keep following us and asking us, do you guys need help? And I said to my friend, I'm like, I think she thinks we're stealing. And she's like, no, that's fine. I'm like, no, I have a feeling that she thinks we're stealing. So at the end, I ended up going to the lady and I was like, I'm sorry, you've already approached me so many times and you asked me if I need help. And I told you, no, I'm just looking. Why do you keep coming? And she said, well, I saw your friend smelling, like she was smelling some perfumes. Want to make sure she doesn't have anything hidden.
Oh.
And that was,
She told you that?
yes. And that was like, I was so mad at the time. I remember being so angry that I told to my friend used to have like a small purse, and I said to her, I grabbed her purse and I was like, so you think there's something here? And she's like, well, I saw her in the area. So I was so angry, and I trusted my friends. Like, I knew she was a good girl and I'm a good person. I don't do those things. So without even asking, I opened the bag and I emptied it in the table and I said, do you see something here that is from the store? Do you see? Like, I want you to look and tell me there's something here that belongs to the store. And she's like, oh no. I was like, okay. I put everything back and I was so mad that I was like, now I'm not purchasing anything from here. And I left, and I was literally gonna spend about $300 in a beauty store just because I felt like we needed to spoil ourselves. But it was such a bad experience that I just went home and we just started crying because we really were just pushed to this line just because we were speaking Spanish and she couldn't understand what we were saying. And that felt so bad. I actually wrote the manager and everything. I was so mad. I'm like here writing like an email like, your store sucks. But yeah, it sucks that you have to go through that, you know?
You know, and I think one of the main things, like personally for me, one of the things that I hate the most about, you know, being illegal is like the whole, like, if you want to get papers, marry a white person. Which I know so many people do that, but personally, I do try to walk like Jesus and try to follow my, try to follow the Bible. So for me, if I'm going to marry somebody, it's for love and not for convenience or something. Like, I'm not going to let problems of the world affect my walk with God. Like, I'm not, no.
But Christian,
Yes.
what about you? I know that you came as well when you were younger. Not as young though, right?
Right. I was in 8th grade. Oh, I said 8th grade. Sorry. I was 8 when I first got here. So I'm 24 now. Well, I'm about to be 24 or soon. So I've been here for 16 years. So it was definitely a lot different coming here, and I spoke 4 languages when I got here. So it was French, Swahili, Lingala, and sarcasm. I didn't know any English.
He still speaks sarcasm, so
Taught me
that,
some.
yeah,
But yeah, so when I first got here, it was hard because I had to go to school. And it's funny because when I was in a Congo, I was actually in 6th grade. And then when I got here, they had to take me back just because I didn't speak English, right? So they put me back in 5th grade. I was really hurt about that because I was like, man, I can finish school early, but then I get here and they like took you back. So it was hard. But what they did, they hire somebody to like come in every single day and work with me, right? Mm-hmm. So I think it was called A4ESL. You know, if you guys want to ever go ahead and look it up, but it's A4ESL. So it's like English in a different language, right? So I'll do English and French. So I'll see things in French and then they'll translate it to English, right? And that's how I started learning. And then just being around people, because there was nobody here that spoke French besides people in my own house, right? So just hanging out with people that spoke English all the time, even though I didn't understand what they were saying, right? Mm-hmm. But just being around that environment, watching TV, and making sure that I'm listening in English, but putting the French subtitle, right? But I kept hearing it over and over and over and over again. So when I got to 6th grade, so just within a year when I got into 6th grade, I started speaking a little bit. But I had a strong accent. So it was tough and people would laugh at you, right? And then 7th grade, it started getting better. And then 8th grade, it got a little bit better. By 9th grade year, the accent was gone, right? And it was regular. But it just takes time, right? But you can learn it real easily if you just keep listening. And it'll just come. Like, it's a natural thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can't really put a time on it. I think the more you just listen to it, you listen to shows in English, you hang out with people that speak English all the time, the language will come.
And how did it make you feel? Like being in school, having to go through that, you know, how did it make you feel?
Live learning.
Yeah, it was it was a lot different. When you come from Africa and you come to America, I mean, it's so different. You know, everything is different. The school system is different. The people are different. The lifestyle, you know, the way they live is completely different from how I used to live. But I think I was more like, I want to put fear in their heart. Like, I wanted them to be scared of me instead of like them, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted them to be like scared of me, right? Because we didn't speak the same language, right? And I couldn't say anything to them, and they always used to laugh, right? So I wanted to show them like, hey, I can fight, you know, things like that. It was silly.
But you felt like you needed to defend yourself
yes,
away.
oh, for sure. Yes, for sure. Like, I'll go home and I'll just think about it, and I'm like, how am I gonna talk to these people? They're always laughing, and I still remember they always make me say fork, right? They'd be like, hey, say fork, and I'd be like, fuck, and they start laughing, right? And they're like laughing. I'm like, why are they laughing? Right? And they're like, hey, come on, Christian, and they'll bring me around everybody, and I think I had friends, right? They're like, hey, come here real quick, and I'm like, yeah. They're like, hey, say fork, and I'm like, fuck, and they bust out laughing. I was like I didn't get it, right? Until I got older and I started speaking English, and I'm like, oh my God, wow. Like, that's so crazy. You guys are sick. But
He used to bully me.
Did he?
So, yeah. He used to when we were in 9th grade.
oh wow.
Yep.
So y'all grew up together.
Yes, we
Yeah.
did. Yes, we did.
Same middle school,
High school.
high school too? Wow, that's so cool. How long you been here?
A year.
A year. How is it for you? Did you already know English, or you had to come here and
Just a
start
little
learning?
bit.
Just a little bit. Okay, gotcha.
I was super overweight, so I got bullied over.
Were you over? I can't
I
tell.
was so fat.
You're beautiful.
Still, you gotta embrace yourself. But
Yeah, loving myself is my project right now. I mean, project love yourself.
Awesome.
So yeah, absolutely. And then I think we're going like two ages here. So you were 5.
I was 5.
You
was
were
8.
8. And I was actually 18 when I came. And
And you're done.
yes,
You're more aware?
Absolutely. I was very naive though when I left. I left an abusive life when I was in Puerto Rico, and I went to New York, kind of trying to escape. So I was very naive to think I'm going to a new place and it's gonna be great, like the movies, and you know, I'm gonna have this life and I'm gonna live in New York City, and it was not. Life definitely did slap me in the face. My English, I was grateful that I grew up with people that were older than me and they actually always spoke English. So I already knew the language, but oh my God, I had such a strong accent. I still have an accent, but back then you couldn't even understand what I was saying. And I remember people saying just like, slow down. I have no clue what you're talking about.
Oh, wow.
And I remember that I had people near me that will do the same thing. They will make fun, like they will say this word, and I'll be like, well, at least I know 2 languages. It will be so annoying because I was mature enough to know that they were making fun of me. They weren't laughing with me, they were laughing at me.
Yeah.
And you know, it was hard because my first year I had my cousin, and for personal problems she ended up going back to Puerto Rico. So I thought I had family that I could count on, and I didn't have them at all. And you know, that first year, like as crazy as it sounds, a lot of people think that when they move here in the States, they're gonna have so many privileges.
Right, for sure.
They feel like, oh, things are worse back home, and when I get here, I'm gonna have so much. Like, I'm gonna have a job, I'm gonna have money, I'm gonna have opportunities. You know, and coming from Puerto Rico, where I made $80 a week, working in a clothing store, I thought this is my opportunity. And yes, you do make more money. You do have to get to a certain point, but things are not as easy. Like, things are more expensive, and by me not knowing English that well, things were actually harder. It took just a little bit, and I had people taking advantage of me because I didn't know. So they will, you know, do awful things that will eventually I'll open up about it. But it was hard. But the only thing that kept me going through was just thinking there was someone out there having it worse than me, and I just had to be keeping the faith. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I cried every single day. But eventually it became my home. It really did. Like, although Puerto Rico is my home, it's not a place where, you know, I just feel more comfortable here because I got used to it. I worked hard through the everything that went life threw at me. And, you know, I learned to love this place. And even though, yes, we've had people that have been racist, and again, I don't look Spanish, but the second I open my mouth, everything goes to hell. But it just, I feel people need to understand that it's not easy. It's not easy to come to a place where you don't know nothing, even if you think you know, you really don't. It takes a lot of time, but if you do surround yourself with people that are good, that they have good intentions, and eventually you will find those kind of people. You can get through it and build a life, you know. And there's so many things that are going on right now, I believe, but if you work hard and you keep your faith, you're gonna get so much far out, you know. But I feel, again, too, everyone goes through something and we don't know about it. So by someone being mean to me, bullying me, or doing something wrong at me, if I do the same to them, does that make me better? It's not, you know. So it's a learning process, to embrace what you're going through and just not lose sight, you know.
For sure.
Yeah, and I do want to like say to that, like, definitely, like, who you surround yourself with is gonna make a huge impact. Because even if somebody's nice to you, it does not mean that they
have
are.
good intentions.
Yeah, and even if like somebody like, oh, you can make quick money like this, but like you don't want to come here and then do, you know, get quick money, you know what I mean? And it's like you're putting yourself more in jeopardy. And if you come here and that's what you first learn, that's what you're gonna know, and you're gonna keep on going back to it. So instead of, you know, people like that, you want to hang out with, like, surround yourself with people that are going to support you and encourage you and help you keep your, you know, keep that hope and their faith, and, you know, just help you stick to it and help you work for it, not so much here land of opportunities and easy money. Like,
It's not easy.
it's not.
It's not, but you know, the one thing is just don't lose faith. Do not lose faith. Things will get better. Doesn't matter what you're going through, things will get better. And then for Joe, it was actually different because he was 26
Yeah.
when he came here. So what about that? Tell us.
Spanish.
So he's gonna actually switch to
Yeah.
Spanish. We'll go ahead and
Yeah.
give it to Joe.
Bueno, yo llegué aquí hace 1 año y 3 meses aproximadamente, si no me equivoco. Todo, obviamente, luego del paso del huracán María en Puerto Rico. Estaba buscando opciones en otros estados, pero obviamente al pasar el huracán todo el mundo emigró hacia los Estados Unidos, básicamente a la Florida. So, no tuvimos opción de conseguir apartamentos allá. Tenía a mi hermano acá en Texas y un amigo también, que constantemente me decían, ven para acá, porque no vienes para acá, porque no vienes para Texas. Yo literalmente quedé para Florida, obviamente estaba más cerca de Puerto Rico, tengo familia en Florida, y obviamente estaba una persona que obviamente es muy especial en mi vida allá, pero obviamente no conseguimos ningún apartamento, etcétera, etcétera. Terminamos acá. Fue un proceso sumamente difícil porque obviamente llegas a un lugar donde tienes familia cercana, pero no tienes donde dormir. Como ya estaba durmiendo en el piso durante unos meses, pero gracias a Dios tiene un techo donde vivir. Pero constantemente tenía el apoyo de mi hermano, de mi mamá, de mi amigo, que constantemente me decía, no, pero continúa. Seguí buscando trabajo, conseguí trabajo en una mega tienda, no voy a decir nombre. Fue un proceso tedioso en cuestión de discriminación, porque notaron que obviamente mi inglés no es fluido, hablo bien poco inglés, y inclusive un día estaba en caja registradora y le pido ayuda a una compañera, y me dice, no hay nadie que te ayude. Estando ahí al frente sin ningún cliente, no me quiso dar la ayuda tan solo porque yo no hablaba inglés o inglés fluido. Eso como que me chocó y me impactó. Y también inclusive tuve la experiencia con un cliente que, si no me equivoco, era de Venezuela o Colombia, no recuerdo exactamente, que básicamente le pasaba lo mismo. O sea, sentía constante discriminación por eso mismo, porque no habla inglés. Y llevaba muchos años acá, pero obviamente una persona de edad avanzada, es un poco más difícil aprender el idioma. Luego de ahí, tuve la bendición de conseguir un mejor trabajo, una mejor oportunidad de paga. Y actualmente estoy bendecido con eso, literalmente, y he recibido el apoyo de toda mi familia, de amigos, de Lian cuando llego aquí nuevamente, y obviamente he estado activo gracias a esta persona que está aquí, porque literalmente no salgo de mi casa. De verdad es un cambio bien grande, un cambio bien grande.
Y es cierto, o sea, son muchas cosas con las que pasamos que solamente por un idioma nos paran, nos ponen el miedo, nos discriminan. So it sucks, you know. I remember having working in a store in New York, and oh my God, I had this customer. She was so great. I mean, she used to come every single day, and she was just so friendly and everything. And one day, there was a person, a Spanish person, in front of me, and she was in line. She was second in line, and I'm helping this person, and I'm speaking to this person in Spanish, because of course they didn't speak English, and I'm helping them out. I check them out, and then she comes and she was rude. And I was like, okay, that was just weird, because I've helped her for a whole year, and she was the sweetest person, and she was just so nice to me, right? So suddenly, after like a week, my manager came to me and said, you know, this is going on. What happened? Were you rude to someone? And I'm like, no, I mean, I haven't had any issues with nobody. And he gave me this email that was sent to the company, and he was just talking so bad about me. And I was like, oh my God, like, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't remember making and doing anything or offending anyone. Like, I don't recall. And I went to the name, so I grabbed the name of the person just to know who the person was, and I went on Facebook, and it was her. It was that customer that was so nice to me for almost I think it was a year, like a whole year. She was so kind, like she was absolutely, we used to talk and laugh and everything. So she literally went on Facebook and made a post saying how she hated immigrants because they didn't know how good we had it here, and to be bitching about it, then we should have get the fuck out, and we'll beep that too. But she was literally like, you guys, if you need help, I'll help you pack your bags and send you back. Like, it's so stupid that I have to drive and see a Canadian flag, or keep driving and see a fucking Puerto Rican flag, and it was my Puerto Rican flag, and walk into a store and hearing them speaking Spanish, and she just rants, and I see people commenting, like, just being bad at her, like why would you do that to a person or say that to a person? And she's like, because they're not from here, they shouldn't be here. I'll go and help her get out. So to me, I had so many emotions. I was like, oh my, I was so angry. Then I started crying because I cry a lot. But it was so much because I couldn't believe that someone that was so nice and kind to me turned, and she actually went to the company and talked so many lies, because there was all lies she made up just to get me fired. She literally wanted me fired. She said, if she's not fired, I will not continue, I will not ever go back to your store, just because I was not from the States. And just to let you know, Puerto Rico, it's part of the US. We are citizens. But even though, it doesn't matter, because it's not just us Puerto Rican, it's everyone. Like, how to be the fear. There was a time where I didn't speak Spanish because I was afraid of people saying something or doing something to me or to the people that I was with. So it's just, it sucks. It sucks going through that, you know?
Yeah, you kind of want to hide it. I remember in high school, because again, like all the people where I grew up, it was like all white people. So like growing up, just because I didn't look Mexican, I was so ashamed because they would constantly make jokes toward Mexican instead of me being mad. Since I was still a kid. I mean now, like never, but like now, like since I was still a kid, like I felt so like ashamed of being Mexican. So I would hide it if someone would ask. And my name's Edith, so I mean that's like an old white lady name. Granted, my last name's Rodriguez, but I didn't know that. But anyways, I was so ashamed of it that for the longest time, like if people ask, like yeah, my name's Z, like I'm white, like or I'll say like something else, and I remember this one time, it was crazy. The thing that made me like stop being ashamed of who I was and realize what I was doing was I remember in philosophy class, that was my stuff. But in philosophy class, there was this guy named Daniel that sat in front of me, and he whitest guy in the world, but he loved Mexicans. Like he loved Mexicans, and I was always like, why? Like, like you're like the one person. And I remember this one time we were talking, and he was like, I just hate it how how some people deny who they are, like, and deny their roots, like, like he's like, I met this Mexican chick that was trying to be white, and she's like, it's obvious she's Mexican. Like, who are you hiding who you are? And like that, like, and I was just like, I remember thinking like, yeah, why would they do that? But like, I remember that, like, I'm like, dude, that's me. Like, and it wasn't because it was just like, and I know now it was like that peer pressure, and that like I was letting my other people make me feel lesser and make me feel like it's like if I'm Mexican, I'm no longer like, I'm already like fat and ugly and break out everywhere. Like now you want me to be Mexican too? Like, so it was like, it was a lot of pressure. But that's when like hearing him from him, and like also like a white person, like an American, it like really like hit me. Like, not everybody is the same. There are people that are accepting, like not everybody is going to be racist or stereotypical or have this certain image of people. So that also in my part, that like, as somebody that came here too, like, and that also changed my mentality, that not everybody is like that either.
That is so
Exactly.
true. I completely agree with you. I used to be the same way. I used to be like scared. Well, once I lost the accent, right, obviously, they were just like, he's a black dude, and they'll make jokes like you know how to do that, right? Like, I don't know where people get it from. Like, I kid you not. Like, I have never heard anybody, do all that stuff. But they used to do it all the time, right? To where, like, they didn't know where I was from. So they never asked where I was from. They didn't even know I spoke different languages, right? So when they'll speak to me, and, like, they just think, he's just a regular black guy. Like, he's just from here, right?
Just
and
that
so,
color.
yeah, so they'll, like, make jokes, right? And I was so ashamed, right? I think it's just more about becoming more confident in yourself. And I had a friend, right? And I think this is where like everything changed. They always told me, like, hey dude, like it's so cool that you speak a different language, right? Like that's so dope. Like, bro, you speak French?
It's that one person.
And so yeah, that one person.
Yeah.
So they give you that confidence. And I was like, wait, hold on, time out. I do speak French. I speak a different language. So why does it matter, right? And so when more people started finding out about it, they were like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Like you speak a different language. Oh my gosh, you're different. Because people like different. But when we first get here, we think, oh, everybody wants all of us to all be the same. Everybody, they're Americans, so they want you to be able to speak English. But no, in reality, that's true.
Some do.
Right. But in
not
reality,
everyone.
people like different cultures. People
Especially
like,
in this era.
especially
they're more
especially nowadays.
open-minded.
Oh, you foreign? Oh yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
This is boring. I like this. I like that. So once you start believing in yourself, I think that's where it's just a mentality thing,
Yeah.
right? That's where like everything changes, and you'll be more comfortable to be able to walk around somewhere and not have to worry about being ashamed or hiding this. And
I'm
hiding
not. Right now, I remember being scared, but now I wish you would. I wish you would say something when I'm speaking Spanish.
Ken over there
Because
laughing.
then you will know
Ken
I
was the one
am
bullying me. Come on, Ken, show your face.
Spanish.
That's crazy.
But yes, guys, I mean, we brought this this video just to create awareness. You know, it is not easy. Don't think that, oh, I'm gonna be going there and it's gonna be so easy, because it's not. You're definitely gonna have to work and you know, build that. But after you get to a level, I'm telling you, it is great, because you will meet people. Look at this. I would have never known that I would be friends with people that were just different from me. And I love it, because I'm the type of person just like Edith. Like, I feel like I know I'm going to travel the world. I know I'm going to learn more, because I love cultures. I just love how we are all so different, you know? And it just, for me, it's amazing. And you know, to live in a bubble is just so naive. So I think we just have to appreciate ourselves, appreciate everyone that's near us. And after all, we're all the same. We're all the same. We're God's sons, you know. We're all the same. And don't ever let anyone to tell you otherwise, because it doesn't matter where you're from. We're still the same. We bleed the same. So
and a lot of the times they're jealous, because they're like, you know, now it's like, nowadays they're more open to like other cultures and stuff. They're like, being foreign is like something cooler now. So like a lot of times they'll try to make you feel lower about yourself, because they're jealous, because they don't know another language, and they don't, you know, they don't get to do this and do that and wear this, because it's, you know.
And I think I can understand at a certain point feeling that this is your home, and suddenly there's so many of us. And I get that. I
technically y'all took it from the Native Americans.
That is true. That is true, and that's another story, you know. But
we need to get him on there.
But absolutely. But I feel like, you know, this is just a world. It's land. We should be able to live freely, you know, and just be happy. The second you,
the planet is not for one.
Exactly. Who divided us? I want to know who the fuck divided people. Like,
humanity did. That's
what
happened. Humanity. But I would say this, like, it's kind of like, just imagine, like, I guess for somebody that hasn't left, like, just imagine how you're always, like, you know, growing up, you're always with your family in a certain neighborhood, and all of a sudden, like, when you grow up, it's like, just imagine, you know, kind of, I guess, so you can relate in a bit, like, for those that aren't foreign, but like, just imagine, like, when you first move out of your parents' home, kind of how you get that aloneness, because you no longer have that support. You nobody have anybody to pay your bills or, you know, rely on anything, and it's like and then you're home alone in your new place, and you're just like, it's just silent, like, you know, it's like that, but like 20 times harder, because now you got stuck with all the bills. You don't even, like, the most you can do is FaceTime. You know, like, for Christmas, all the holidays, birthdays, everything, I get a FaceTime. Like, that's why I low key become kind of like the Grinch and stuff like that, because it's like,
you know, I love Christmas.
Christmas.
Christmas used to be.
It used to be amazing.
Okay, let me retract myself.
I'm still good, but
I used to love Christmas so much. Then I hated it because of a person that made me hate it, because he hated it. And after I learned to love myself again, now I am the most annoying for Christmas. So be ready, y'all. Be ready, because it will look like Christmas threw up in here, and I am happy about it, and I will embrace it. And it is hard. It is hard times, because your family are away, and those calls, you know, whenever. I grew up with my grandma's house. It was the place you go to do New Year's Eve, and it will be all of us, and it will be like 20 or 30 of us just there, you know, and to be on the phone and hear them, because at that time I didn't have an iPhone, you know, hear them. But be over here, like, alone in a bedroom, that was just heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's
especially
just,
when you don't know friends or anybody, you're just there in your room by yourself.
But again, just don't lose track of yourself. Do not lose faith. And if you need any help, let us know. We're here to help everyone and save the world.
For sure.
So if you like this video, please go ahead, subscribe, hit the like button. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Bye.